Once upon a quiet evening, just as the sun was saying goodnight and the stars were stretching awake, a little girl named Evelyn sat by her window in a cozy house at the edge of a great, whispering forest. She wore her favorite fuzzy slippers and held her bedtime bear, Mr. Buttons. But tonight, something felt different. Usually, by this time, the forest would be still and silent, the trees softly swaying in the moonlight, the owls gently hooting, and the crickets chirping lullabies. But tonight, the forest was wide awake. The trees were rustling loudly, the owls flapped in circles, looking confused, and the stars above the forest blinked faster than usual, like they were worried. Evelyn blinked. "Why isn't the forest asleep?" she whispered. She tiptoed to the door, tugged on her warmest robe, and quietly stepped into the night. The forest greeted her with a cool breeze and a swirl of glowing fireflies. As she stepped past the first line of trees, a yawn echoed, loud and leafy. "Who's there?" Evelyn asked softly. A low voice rumbled from a nearby tree. "It's me, Old Maple. I want to sleep, but I've lost my lullaby. Without it, none of the forest can rest." Evelyn gently patted the tree's bark. "I'll help you find it," she said bravely. Just then, a tiny squirrel wearing a leaf hat scampered down from a branch. "Oh, Evelyn, thank goodness you're here. Everything is upside down tonight. The moonlight doesn't tickle the treetops, and the breeze forgot how to hum." Evelyn smiled. "Then we'll remind the forest how to sleep. Come on, let's gather the sleepy things." With Mr. Buttons tucked under her arm and the squirrel leading the way, Evelyn walked deeper into the forest. First, they came upon a pond that usually shimmered under moonlight like silver milk. But tonight, the water rippled and splashed, full of wide-awake frogs doing flips. "Time for bed, froggies," Evelyn called. A frog in tiny glasses blinked. "We want to sleep, but the moon forgot to sing us our splashy lullaby." Evelyn thought for a moment. She crouched beside the pond and began to hum a soft tune, like the way raindrops fall on leaves. One by one, the frogs settled. The water stilled. The pond sighed with relief. "That's it," said the squirrel. "You're good at this." Next, they arrived at the owl post tree, where owls usually coo quietly on their branches, tucking their wings. But tonight, they flapped and hooted wildly. "Owls?" Evelyn asked gently. A young owl, feathers puffed, blinked down at her. No bedtime feathers were fluffed. No tea before tree time. Everything is off. We didn't get our goodnight poem. Evelyn stood tall and took a deep breath. In the forest dark and deep, even owls need their sleep. Close your wings and dream so bright, nestled warm in soft moonlight. The owls gave a satisfied hoo-hoo and nestled into their branches, closing their eyes. Deeper still they went, and the air grew sleepy soft. The wind began to remember how to hum. A little badger peeked out from a den. "Are you the dream finder?" the badger asked. Evelyn giggled. "I guess I am." "Well," the badger said, "the dream keeper is missing. She brings sleep dust to the forest. Without her, we can't drift off." Evelyn blinked. Where did she go? The badger pointed a stubby paw toward the hill of moss. She lives atop the Mumbleberry Hill. But she hasn't been seen tonight. With determination, Evelyn climbed the hill, the squirrel and Mr. Buttons by her side. At the top, sitting on a toadstool, was the Dream Keeper, a tiny creature with wings made of starlight and slippers stitched from shadows.
Oh no,
she sniffled. I spilled all my sleep dust. I tripped over a snoring beetle. Evelyn knelt beside her. Can we gather it again? The Dream Keeper nodded. Yes, but only if we move very quietly, and only if someone believes sleep can be shared. Evelyn whispered, I believe. They tiptoed around the hill, collecting sparkling specks of sleep dust in a teacup. With each sprinkle, the forest grew softer. The leaves swayed slower. The air turned to a lullaby. The Dream Keeper smiled. Now, Evelyn, would you do the honor? Evelyn took the teacup and climbed to the tallest stone. She whispered, "Good night, sleepy forest," and tipped the cup. The sleep dust rose like fog, gentle and shimmering, wrapping the trees, the owls, the frogs, and even the wind in cozy magic. By the time she returned to the forest edge, Evelyn felt her own eyelids fluttering. The squirrel yawned. Mr. Buttons was already snoozing. Old Maple rustled softly. Thank you, Evelyn. You reminded us how to rest. She smiled sleepily. Good night, forest. When she got back to her house, the stars twinkled slowly, the way they should. She climbed into bed, pulled up her cloud-soft blanket, and closed her eyes. That night, she dreamed of sleepy frogs, whispering trees, and a teacup full of stars. And from deep within the forest came a hush, a sigh, and the sound of peaceful dreams.